And if I may add a little bit to this history, that it was very accurate, and add some color perhaps. The first is, I believe that senior leadership in the UPU and as well as the ICANN board, I think reached a conceptual agreement to pursue this activity either in 2003 or 2004. I believe it was 2003. I'm sorry? 2004. Thank you very much, Ricardo. And some of the difficulties were structural and legal in the sense that UPU is an intergovernmental organization. ICANN is a non-governmental organization, or you can think of it as an international multi-stakeholder organization, because governments are very much involved in ICANN, including our Government Advisory Committee and in many other processes. And so the interface between these two required some very creative legal work and thinking to be done, which I'll come back to in a moment. But some of this story came in part from your UPU has these champions, which are your national operators. And the gentleman to my right is a very successful and aggressive champion, Mr. Massimo Sarmi. And I had the good fortune to work with Massimo when I was working for the U.S. government in cybersecurity. And we discussed possible collaborations and different projects together, and we built a very good relationship. And when Sarmi and I, as well as Mr. Andreas Regoni, who is here, were together in Rome in June, I mentioned that I was honored to be considered by ICANN as a potential candidate to become CEO in July. And Massimo encouraged me to continue on that path, and fortunately the ICANN board elected me on June 26, which I think was only 2 weeks or so after we met. But Massimo told me at lunch that day at the lovely Circolo di Scacchi in Rome, he said, if you take on this position, we really would like to get this dotpost going, and it's been a very difficult negotiation set of issues. Can you please work on this if you're the CEO of ICANN? And I, of course, said to Massimo, I will work on it if you will work on it, and the UPU team, and we can come to the middle. And so the teams, the legal teams, came together and worked very hard under the leadership of Director General Dayan, and I think that we through Ricardo's creativity and John Jeffries at ICANN, we came to, I think, a very creative solution that can now be a model not only for ICANN in working with other IGOs. It's our first, I think, contract of this type with an intergovernmental organization, but could be modeled by other groups. Thank you.
I can confirm. It is exactly the truth. At the beginning I said, thanks to their leadership. It means exactly what they did in a very, very short time, because Rod is almost recent, so your first 6 months as a CEO of ICANN. Eduard was, let me say, anxious and stubborn, I'd say, into finalizing this activity, because from time to time he told me it is almost 5 years' time, it is almost 6 years' time. And so, as it happened in this club in Rome, named Circolo degli Scacchi, translated this chess club, we imagined the future, which is now it's a reality. Rod is in charge, Eduard obtained the result, and this historic event took place.
And so you, Massimo, were the catalyst. Thank you.
If I may, of course, it was a conjunction at the right time between people sharing the same approach and being very open, because for me, what was certain for succeeding, it was important to work with in the best condition with the high level of trust between our two organizations, which was the case. But also, I had to have continually the support from the different UPU bodies, because we have to present our strategy, our vision, to the last UPU Congress, which is the Plenipotentiary Conference, which was organized in Geneva last year. We had continually to explain and to receive the support from the permanent UPU bodies, Administration Council, Postal Operation Council, etc. It means that the DG of UPU is not somebody who is able to do what he wants. And it was very important for us to respect the governance rules we have and to use continually the different channels for being sure that we had continually the support, which was the reason why also now we are very optimistic because the ground was very well prepared at the different levels.
Sorry? Okay, thank you. And I just want to mention, through the UPU now and with the dotpost, we already enjoy a good relationship with Poste Italiana, but as you mentioned, the Tunisian postal system was a catalyst here as well. And I want to mention that we want to invite all of the national postal systems that are part of the UPU family to join ICANN in our ongoing policy development process and how we advance the Internet standards around naming and addressing that can affect your future. Our next meeting is in Nairobi, in March 22nd in Nairobi, and we invite all the postal systems to please join us in any policy meetings that are taking place there. Also want to mention that the press release for ICANN from today is not, I don't know if it's in the room, but you can find it online at ICANN.org. So if you go to www.icann.org, that press release is there. Thank you.
Okay, it's 12:25, so I think we will conclude the press conference. If some of you have additional questions, maybe our participants will hang around for a few minutes. But I thank you, everybody, for being here, and thank you to our participants for being present and having arrived all on time. Thank you very much.